You're back on Twitter.
Yes, I am back on Twitter, Ben. I'm glad that Team Elon made the right decision and restored my free speech today. So, yet again, I'm back in the mainstream. Yet again, a peer of the likes of Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. And I feel as though Whoopi Goldberg is going to be my rival now that I'm back in the mainstream.
That's fair.
In the discourse.
Because we did talk about the parallels between you and Whoopi. It's down to the almost every detail, but you're on different sides of the political aisle.
Yes.
But so much in common otherwise.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's commonalities between all of us.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're all God's children, aren't we? So we're getting really positive. You woke up in a great mood because you now have 75,000 ears that you didn't have access to as of yesterday.
Right.
And that's going to change a lot of things for the trajectory of your career.
Well, sure. I'm just glad to be back on and setting a good example for the young people, in the true thing. I feel as though I deserve a Pulitzer Prize for investigative journalism because I was vindicated on Fauci funding the Wuhan lab, which I reported in April 2020. I was vindicated on the Ashley Biden diary about the daddy-daughter showers with Sleepy Creepy Joe. I was vindicated on the entire scamdemic, frankly. But I feel like now that I'm back on Twitter, not only do I deserve a Pulitzer Prize, but I can go to the next level and really go for the Nobel Prize in literature with some of my tweets. I want to put my tweets up next to the body of work of Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Like Robert Frost level poetry. Like I want people to think, who's carrying on the legacy of Maya Angelou, and then they'll look at my Twitter. At least a Kennedy Center honor, something like that.
Yes. And as the great Dan Mitchell said, he could definitely see the correlation with Maya Angelou. Robert Frost, I don't know. You might have some work to do, but you're definitely getting better. And you said you're going to behave yourself this time around.
I am going to take the conversation up to a new level, a new level of consciousness,
Yes. Positivity, personal responsibility.
Sure.
Friends, family, right? How do you feel about all that? What do you think's the secret to happiness in this realm?
I was out there for a while, out in, Siberia, chopping wood, like in Rocky IV, basically.
Yes.
In the digital realm.
Yes.
And I learned a lot. It's like when your Twitter gets taken away from you, when your online presence basically gets taken away from you, who are you really? You stare into the abyss and you see the abyss staring back at you. It's been said before. But then you learn about who you are as a man. And it's like, do I even need this Twitter? Do I need these tweets? And the answer is, I don't need my Twitter, but America needs me to have a Twitter.
The world.
Really.
International, I would say.
I would say.
Worldwide. All across this globe.
Worldwide. Yeah. And I'm kind of like Dr. Dre, not in the sense that, because Dr. Dre criticized Ye. So Dr. Dre came out on the side of the establishment, not real Dr. Dre, but the persona of Dr. Dre, still DRE, still got love for the streets, Guess who's back?
So how do you feel to be a part of the world's most expensive and best podcast? Because now you're going to be a regular
The Radicalized podcast here.
The Radicalized podcast. Live from Venice Beach on these beautiful boats. We pretty much own the entire slip. As far as the eye can see, it's money for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's behind, this interview will be free, but generally it's behind a $279 paywall.
That sounds reasonable.
Per month. So yeah, we're honored to have you. This is actually the first episode.
Not true, by the way. I don't think...
It is true. We can bring up the Patreon. I'll show you. $279.99 per month.
Oh.
We're not anticipating a great number of listeners because part of the trick, again, we're still going to do free episodes. We're still going to give the people what they need.
Right.
But when it comes down to just something they want, we're going to charge them tremendously.
A lot.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's comparable to, let's say, your car payment.
What kind of premium content are they going to be getting?
They're going to be getting behind the scenes. They're going to be getting some of the cut stuff. They're going to be getting
bloopers.
Blooper reels. We're talking about letting people, if they subscribe for a full year, giving them like little vacations on some of these boats and stuff like that.
The more offensive content that gets cut out of the regular.
You can say anything on the actual Radicalized podcast.
Right.
And we're happy to have you on it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be cool. Now we have access. I was watching when you first discovered my music. You were the first one to play me on InfoWars and all these things. You compared me to Randy Newman, which I think is so hilarious because now I listen to Randy Newman all the time. In the 70s, he was actually like really damn good.
He was pretty good. Yeah, he was good.
And I was like, wow, that's cool.
You're like a bass Randy Newman.
Yeah, so you said bass Randy Newman. I was like, I love that. Because he apparently is a little bit on the other side of this stuff.
Doesn't surprise me.
You can't blame him. He's old.
Yeah.
You know.
Out of touch.
Yeah, I would say.
Is he on Twitter?
I don't think he is. Should we start a battle with him?
We need to pick who we're going to have the really good rivalries with.
I still want you to go after everyone on The View. If it still has
the Celtics Lakers kind of rivalry. I mean, obviously, we need to criticize The View. We need to criticize Whoopi. Hold them accountable. I feel like hold them accountable to the public because they're letting us down. The public has a right to know, and I feel like The View is misinforming us.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's actually dangerous misinformation.
Dangerous.
See how it's all flipping?
Yeah.
We were dangerous information 2 years ago, and now it seems like all these heart attacks, strokes, autoimmune disorders.
Sure.
Seems like that might be the dangerous misinformation. Talking about that clot shot.
Yeah, they're promoting the clot shot.
Remember when you couldn't even say it like 2 years ago? You couldn't even talk about the shot potentially being dangerous. You get banned from everything.
Right.
Wow, things are changing.
A lot of people are dying, unfortunately.
True.
As a result of the liars, the dishonest people, the demons, the globalist scumbags, the Aleister Crowley worshippers.
And a lot of accidental Aleister Crowley worshippers,
who don't even know.
Because they worship him by proxy through their Whoopi Goldberg. And that's what we're trying to... This is basically The View for the woke, man. We're the true woke.
Mm-hmm.
How else do you think we afforded this yacht? God rains money on you when you choose the right path.
You think we're the new View?
We're the new View.
Yeah.
We might have to change the name to that. The Radicalized podcast is actually already taken to a degree.
Right.
We had it first, but then a liberal group got together and they have the Radicalized podcast. And I've watched a little. We should try to debate them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched some of their episodes. Ooh, like they're still talking about Trump and how much they hate him now.
We're not going to have a studio audience comprised of middle-aged women in masks seal clapping to propaganda, though. We're not going to have the ladies in the audience dancing like on the Ellen DeGeneres show. We're going a different way with the daytime programming.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more Charlie Rose without the sexual harassment.
I love that.
Sort of a Tom Snyder kind of. You remember Tom Snyder sort of vibe, or Dick Cavett.
Can we still do like laugh tracks and like
canned studio laughter? Sure.
Yeah.
People slipping on banana peels.
That's the kind of shit.
We're going to have Walmart fights, of course.
Yeah, I like that.
Walmart fights has been a very successful segment for me in my broadcasting career.
Nice. People like seeing people in their most primal states.
And at Walmart, they're in the most primal state. It's survival. It's the modern day hunting and gathering.
Mm-hmm. I feel it every time I walk.
They're foraging. They're foraging for goods, but meanwhile, it's in an unnatural setting with the artificial fluorescent lighting.
Yep.
And it just sort of it gets to people.
Emotions run high in Walmart.
Emotions run high in Walmart.
Every time I leave Walmart, I'm walking faster than when I got there.
And leaving with a little piece of your soul gone.
Yeah, it's back there with them.
Yeah.
Do the self-checkout, But save a ton of money. From not supporting local businesses, we save a ton of money.
From ruining the American economy.
Yes.
Gutting it like a Gordon Gekko kind of. But we lose the money in the grand scheme of things in that scenario.
I'm enjoying the 30% income tax and capital gains stuff. I'm enjoying all that. That's why I can't have a real job. I can't give them 30%.
So you're saying as a billionaire, would you be willing to pay more because you think you should be taxed more in order to help the Black Lives Matter donation fund? And
I'm a big fan of, I guess, Ron Paul's tax plan, which I think is what they're pushing for, right? This higher sales tax, no income tax. Wasn't that kind of his fair tax gist? No more income tax, no capital gains. The rich will still have to buy. Obviously, we're going to keep buying yachts. This is something we're just into.
Right.
We'll pay that extra 30% on the yachts on our podcast, for example. And it'll be, instead of $279.99 per month, it'll be like $360 or something with the sales taxes. We're going to obviously tack that on to you guys. No hard feelings. We gotta get ours. But I think at the end, I think the economy would be saved if we would just drop the income tax.
Well, I think if we abolished the Federal Reserve,
that'd be nice.
No more printing the fiat currency. Go back to the gold standard.
I would like that.
Is it possible? Consideration? I don't know if Kevin McCarthy is going to be taking that on in this Congress. Doesn't seem like it.
I don't even know if that's possible.
I would be surprised.
Are we laundering money through Ukraine?
Oh, clearly. I mean, that's going on.
Does everybody know that yet?
I hope so. I mean, $111 billion in foreign aid within the last year from the Americans to Zelensky, the man who played the piano with his penis.
Did he?
Because America is a shining city on the hill.
You can only hit one note at a time with your penis, can't you? It depends how you approach it, I guess.
I'm not going to try.
You can't play beautiful chords with your penis.
No.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons we don't like Zelensky. The piano's not to be played with your penis.
No.
Randy Newman never did it that way.
I've never seen Randy Newman do that.
No, and he's a great piano player. Shout out to Randy. We don't want you to be on our bad side, Randy. We know you're watching this. You watch them all.
We're peers with Randy Newman now because I'm back on Twitter. I'm back in the mainstream. Maybe we could get Randy Newman here to do a jam session.
That would be amazing.
For our next theme song. He's great at theme songs.
He is. Oh,
have you heard the Welcome Back Kotter theme song?
I have not.
Am I going to be hearing from like the David Geffen estate or something if I play this? Or
I think we're allowed to play about 15, 20, 30 seconds of it.
Okay, well, we'll just give you a few seconds of the Welcome Back Kotter because this is kind of how I feel. Welcome Back Kotter was a show. You might see it in reruns now. It's about a guy going back to like his old inner city high school and becoming a teacher.
Welcome back for your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who thought they'd lead you? Yeah, where we need you. The keys to my life.
So you have your finger on the pulse of old music, TV.
I grew up in a culture that was very fatuous here in modern America.
I don't know what the word means.
Not very serious, you know. Not very highbrow, more middle brow, low brow kind of culture that we grew up here with the television.
Yeah. And more so every day.
Oh yeah, clearly it's going in that direction.
And we're trying to get back to that high
Welcome
brow.
Back Kotter was like Shakespeare compared to RuPaul's Drag Race or some of the things that you might see now on the tube.
Which is why next time I'm here with you, I'm going to be wearing not just a Titleist hat, which is golf is a very expensive sport. I'm going to be wearing a blazer as well.
Okay.
Because we're taking this thing, I see that same vision. We want Dick Cavett type vibe.
Sure.
We want classy talk show, the new view, the better view.
The better view.
The true view.
But much more like the Ed Sullivan Show or maybe like Jack Parr. Jack Parr's Tonight Show, I think, is kind of what we're going for.
See, how do you know all this stuff?
Because, again, I grew up saturated in a culture of entertainment, television programming. You know, a lot of that stuff, by the way, was driven by Operation Mockingbird. Not too good.
Really?
To absorb too much of that.
So you picked up on that when you were pretty young?
I did, yeah. I could tell that my teachers in elementary school, I felt, wanted to genocide me.
No way.
It was pretty obvious.
They could tell you were different.
They could tell that I was somebody who was going to be on the other side of them, you know, as the years go on.
I think I had the same damn curse.
Yeah.
They pick up on like this little bastard's got his own mind going on, and we don't like it.
But if I saw those ladies nowadays out on the street, you know, wearing their mask, you know, scolding people for not wearing a mask or something like that, I wouldn't even give them the time of day. I would avoid them. I'd be like, get away from me. Meanwhile, society felt that it was in my best interest to lock me in a room with those people every day.
Mm.
And for those people to tell me that somehow I was bad, you know, my ideas were not right.
That's scary. That's a scary thought, man. I'll be homeschooling, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I get criticism from all kinds of people for that. I'm like, come on, use your brain here. I'm not trusting some wacko to teach my child anything.
No.
Sorry. Maybe she won't know her ABCs till she's 15, 16. Big whoop.
You know, they talked about arming the teachers. You see some of these teachers.
Yeah, no thanks.
I don't know if you want to be adding more arms to that situation. Maybe like a security guard who's, you know, professional.
Right wing
security guard to maintain order. But I don't know if arming the teachers is necessarily the way to go in a school setting.
I genuinely don't trust left wing people with firearms.
I feel like
And they say that about right wing, but no. They're the ones that can't be trusted with firearms.
Well, there's a lot of mental instability on the left.
That's for sure.
I feel like there's a lot of daddy issues, a lot of personal loathing and resentment.
And they hate God.
They don't like him.
Why? How did this happen? I mean, God made everything. It's kind of beautiful. It's kind of a beautiful world.
Yeah, it is a beautiful world.
I love it. I think it's a fantastic place to be. I think God is so obvious, and it seems like this culture, I think more than any other, really does not believe in God, doesn't consider God. It's very, very strange.
The complexity of our circulatory system, for instance, or the cyclical nature of the seasons, the sun coming up during the day, the moon coming up at night. These sorts of things prove the existence of God, whether it's water, causing the vegetation to grow. We get protein from meat. We have dominion over the animals. It seems obvious that this was designed by a benevolent creator, and yet the purple-haired freaks who are teaching the children, okay, the learned elders in our society, they don't seem to like him very much at all.
And we don't know why. We don't have that's one thing we're not tapped into. We don't know why they hate God.
They're mad at themselves. A lot of their politics comes from their own self-loathing, their own feelings of inadequacy.
Yeah.
And sort of, they see like a high school football quarterback cheerleader kind of archetype. They see that as their enemy because that represents normalcy. And in high school, they felt like they were abnormal. And so they want to get back at the normal images in our society, in our culture. Like they hate the suburban Norman Rockwell kind of American dream.
They hate the beautiful, happy people.
Because they see themselves as being inferior.
Yeah. And there's definitely something to do with the poison in all the water and food.
Oh, definitely.
Atmosphere, whatever they're dropping off. And then the constant brainwash from all angles of everything mainstream.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Yeah.
Endless evil, endless denial of God and inversion.
Fishbowl of lies.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't think I've ever helped one. Ever.
A leftist?
Yeah.
They need to repent, I think, before they get the grace.
That's probably damn true, and that's got to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just got lucky that we didn't go through a big anti-God freak show, purple hair phase. Yeah, even to me as a little kid, it's like, oh yeah, God made this. That makes sense. Very simple. It's just simple. What is God? Then it gets complicated. Who knows? It's complicated, but it's obvious that we're intelligently designed. Very obvious. Look at our eyeballs. Look at these beautiful blues. Give me a break. I mean, look at this yacht that he blessed us with. We got a view of all of Venice Beach there.
It's the good life, as Ye said.
Yeah, he gets it. He's a big old God boy. Strange that they would allow such a fan of God to be so popular. Or did he just get to the point where they couldn't stop him? He was already too popular.
I think they couldn't stop him after a while, but they certainly tried in recent months. They've certainly tried to stop him.
Then they tried it again years ago with the whole, like, he's crazy, he's lost his mind thing.
He said that his mom was a sacrifice, implying that they were trying to send him some kind of message when his mother died.
I believe that. When you're in that realm, you're talking about, hundreds of millions of dollars floating around and that kind of influence on the youth. It's obvious they're going after the youth at all times. That's the most important battle.
Right.
And he really does influence a lot of those young, thuggish types to start thinking more about God and maybe making money and contributing. They don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. They don't want them all to end up on yachts doing podcasts.
No.
Can you imagine?
No.
God, if there were more the new views like ours,
yes,
we'd be living in utopia.
Right.
We'd be waving to the neighbors over there as they're doing their cast.
Right.
Just an echo chamber of peace and love.
We can all be the view. We can all be the new view.
That's what we're trying to inspire. Yeah.
This is our view. I mean, their view is clouded by cynicism and untruth.
Yeah. Make your own view.
We have a clear view. Exactly.
Yeah. Find what the view is to you in your life.
What does the view mean to you?
Take your own little group of friends circle, sit in some way that's typically around
Right.
in a circle or a half circle,
and
face the
yell
camera.
your own emotional, half-formed opinions at each other
Yes,
with
yes.
very little regard for the audience's enjoyment level.
Yes.
That's what The View is. Fundamentally, that is the View model.
And it works.
Take a few people, a small handful of people who know almost nothing, and have them yell at each other in a way that is just completely repulsive to the viewers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what works. That's the $1 million idea in media nowadays, apparently.
And they want unhealthy, unhappy women in their audience.
Yeah.
Women, that's something we could talk about to exhaustion. They've done the same thing that they're working on with the kids with to the women. Women, I would say 90% of like marriages, it seems like, at least the ones I've experienced and seen in my life, the woman leaves the man because she like thinks she's missing out on something. They've like convinced the modern woman that she's missing like passion and all these things. And anybody with a brain knows that passion is like a fleeting feeling that leads to intimacy, which leads to procreation and new life, children, that sort of thing. And then the child becomes the sacred thing that you kind of give your life to. Today's women don't realize that, and they keep looking for like this passion. It's like most divorces, the woman leaves the man for like some loser at work or something because like he looked at her a certain way and like, oh, I miss that.
Really?
It's really strange, right? All my friends are divorced, and it's all the women left them.
I think that I have a lovely girlfriend, you know, and I think that there's a lot of women now who are younger who are going back in the way of not wanting to be on OnlyFans, for instance, not
That's
wanting
rare.
to live that way.
That is so rare.
You think the OnlyFans is becoming more and more ascendant?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like not even all good looking, like every good looking and not good looking girl over 18 is given the shot.
Charlie Sheen didn't want his daughter to be on OnlyFans, and then Denise Richards was like, I'll be on OnlyFans too with her. You know, that's a betrayal right there.
Oh my God. She represents the kind of women that I'm seeing. Maybe I just need to get out more. Spend too much time on these damn super yachts.
Spend some time on the super. You're out here living like a recluse.
The women that are sent in our direction, Andrew Tate's always sending women over. I guess they're like they want sugar daddies. So I have an unfair model to gauge women by, because I only meet supermodels who are super, wealthy and have millions of Instagram followers.
The Instagram branding thing. I mean, I didn't know there was that many face creams. How come we're not getting in on any of this Instagram sponsorship though? We're The View.
Well, we just started. This is a whole new chapter for us.
This is true.
Because now I only live.
I don't use face cream, so I wouldn't know how to really market it very well.
Yeah. We got to find other stuff to sell.
Right.
There's got to be something that we know about that we can sell.
Expertise and wisdom.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We could get everyone that truly ending up on yachts with their own most expensive. Don't make your podcast more expensive than ours, because currently it is the most expensive in the world.
Good.
And I will prove that. I will drop in the Patreon link over this, and you'll see. It's expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to cost you.
Well, this is an aspirational lifestyle. We're trying to get people to aspire to be the yacht view.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even have to be a mega yacht. I mean, You could even do a $3,000 houseboat somewhere. It's just about being near the water, soaking up the sun.
I like the water quite a bit.
There's something to it.
But women like the water. I think they're attracted to this kind of boater, off the grid lifestyle.
Yeah. I used to have good luck with it.
Because society is declining, whereas our parallel society are, breaking away from the normal culture. I think that's the future.
Yeah, I feel that. And everyone out here in Venice represents that. And our listeners represent that. So you're going to hear more from us. Be sure to follow Patrick back on Twitter, since you may not have seen that he's back.
Howley Reporter.
Howley Reporter. That's Howley, if you can't fucking spell. And the Radicalized podcast, he's going to be one of the hosts from now on. He's got a lot to say. He's a funny boy.
Better than Whoopi Goldberg.
Far better.
Thinner than Whoopi Goldberg.
Far thinner.
more insightful, I think.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna be out. We're not gonna bullshit. We're not gonna push.
No.
Be overweight and
No.
get on as many drugs as you can. We're gonna push a nice clean lifestyle with exercise, proper diet, non-alcoholic beers. I'm almost 3 weeks stone sober. For those of you who know me, you can't even believe it. It's true. Well, thank you all. We'll see you very soon with an even wilder episode on an even bigger boat.